Well, I attended college at Brigham Young University. I graduated from South High School with the intention, actually not planning to go to college. So I actually worked for a year, and then when Tressie graduated a year later, then I went to college, and it was 1948.
The New Year's Eve we did the town, the day we tore the goalpost down. We will have these moments to remember.
At first, I wanted to go home every weekend, and then it got to where I was kind of not wanting to go home because I was afraid I'd miss something at school and college, a dance or something fun. The first year I lived with Tressie with the Larsen camp, and the camps were somewhat related to Tressie. And he was a principal at one of the schools there in Provo. They lived on 5th West and 8th North, right next to the Ford's freezer grocery store. We lived on Center Street up a little further east, 1/4. When I graduated, we were living, all of us, I remember we found this house, we named it Myth Manor. And we just really had a great time there. And that was the one that was, I think, first east in Provo. My first impression of going to college, it was just like pushing back the whole, everything pushing aside and seeing a whole new world that just was kind of amazing to realize how little you really knew.
Somehow never see the show. We will have these moments to remember.
At freshman orientation week, they had the seniors or the older class people that could make the freshmen do, ask them to do things or sometimes carry their books or stuff. We had to wear like tails. If you seen a picture, it was like a V and then the tail hanging down. We braided them, I think, out of rags. We had the beanies. This is my little beanie that I had, and many years ago, we had to wear the beanies all the time. If we didn't wear beanies or things that we were supposed to do, then they could give us a ticket, like a ticket. We had to wear the whiskers. The thing that made it fun, of course, was having a good friend like Tressie, because we could laugh and be silly and just do a lot of fun things. I guess the biggest thing is my story about the boat harbor. And one day we were looking around and looking at the houses and stuff in there, and we came to this one building, and of course everything was locked up. And she said, "Do you dare me to break that window?" And I said, "Hope you wouldn't do that." She said, "Oh, I would." And there she stands there, breaks the window, scrapes around the edges and crawls in, opens the door, and I about died. And she was always that way anyway. Of course, we didn't take anything. We just, she always was doing little silly things like that. Another thing that I guess I would tell you about Tressie is she was always so good to me. She always had more money than I did. And one time I went to register, and they said, "You're already registered, you've already paid it." I said, "No, I haven't." And I went all through this to try to figure it out. Finally, I figured it out, and you've got to know what it was. Of course, Tressie had gone in and paid my registration. So I met Rodney Perry, who was from Roosevelt. And the one thing that we really had a good time was they would light up the Y every year, and we'd hike up to the Y, and they would do the big trail up and light up the Y. And I remember going up there with him, and I think that was another time Tressie was crazy. She just threw off her shoes and left them up there. They were so full of mud, but that lighting of the Y was a really, fun thing. We had a good time with that. When we were living with Larsen, and that was our first year down there, and it was such a terrible, terrible winter. It was so cold, and lots and lots of snow. It started early, and it was all winter. One time, we had to walk, of course, all the time. Once in a while, somebody'd take pity on us, give us a ride. But I remember one year we walked up there, and we got up to the north building. It was 20 degrees below zero. And at that time, of course, you did not wear pants to BYU. And I would sometimes put on my pants and wear them as far as to the gym, and then change them in the gym. So we'd have to wear some kind of long hose or something. The thing I'd have to say about Tressie is I probably never would have gone to college. I'm very grateful for her. because I really hadn't planned on it. None of my family had gone to college. Laura went, I think, for one semester or something. We'd get out of school and go to work. That was, you know, you just did that. You needed the money, and it wasn't like it is now where everybody gets out of high school and goes to college. And she kept writing to me and telling me to please come and go with her. And I finally started saving my money. She sent me a piggy bank that summer and said, save your money and be sure and go to the Y with me. I have to say that that was something that I'm most grateful for. After we were married with our families, we just were always together. We went, our biggest vacations were going to Tressie's, where she would always put the spread on, take us to Disney World, Disneyland. Be up early in the morning having breakfast ready for all of us and a lunch pack to take us. San Diego, we just had some great times. We always were close together. She told me that she thought it was kind of time to clean out. And then she talked about they were just going to get a trailer and move to a lot, which they did. And it was shortly after that then that she told she had cancer. I think that she already knew that when she started closing down. And so Tressie fought cancer for several years. Even the year she died, she came here to the women's conference. We went to see her on the 4th of July. We went to see the fireworks with her. In August, she went on, right after that, she went on a trip to Lake Powell, pictures of her, and by August, she passed away with cancer. Miss her very much.
Time together through all the years will take away these tears. It's okay now. Goodbye, my friend. So goodbye, my friend. I know I'll never see you again, but the love you gave me through all the years will take away my tears. I'm okay now.
That was a lifelong friend. We had a very close friendship. I like to think that we probably knew each other before we came.
So pure, we can't hold on, but we try. We watch how quickly it disappears, and we'll never know why. But I'm okay.
Maybe had a part in our lives even, you know, that we knew we were going to have at that time.